Hi there, I'm Rachel Reynolds, and I work for the Maine SNAP Ed program at Healthy Communities of the Capital Area. So today I am actually going to make a quick dessert for myself. It is cold and snowy outside, and I wanted to make something pretty easy, so I decided to go with the microwavable bread pudding. Okay, so for this recipe, we're going to need a tablespoon of butter or margarine, 3 slices of whole grain bread. I actually went with an oatmeal bread because that's what I had on hand. A half a cup of packed brown sugar, a half a cup of raisins. I didn't actually have any raisins, so I decided to go with the cranberry raisin kind of thing, but I went with the 50% or less sugar. That's what I always get, because otherwise they do tend to have a lot of added sugar to them. Okay, and then we're gonna use 3 eggs that are lightly beaten, 1 1¼ cups of non-fat or low-fat milk, a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, and a teaspoon of vanilla. So I actually have gotten most of my ingredients ready. Excuse me. So you can see here I have them all kind of ready to go. All I have to do is cube up the bread and then kind of get everything mixing together. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. And I'm just gonna cut it up into maybe 1-inch little cubes. And I buttered it with the butter before that. So this recipe is just super quick, and we're gonna actually do it all the cooking in the microwave, which is nice. Okay, so that's all done. So you need a microwave safe container to do this in. So I have mine, and it's a quart container at least. And I'm gonna put my cubed up bread. I'm just breaking it up a little bit because the pieces got stuck together with the butter when I cut it. And then I'm gonna put in my raisins and my brown sugar. So the brown sugar, they say to pack it down just because of the way it is. It doesn't pour the same as regular refined sugar. And if you don't pack it down, it's not like a true measurement. Okay, so I got that all in the container. And I have my milk already measured out. So I'm gonna do this next step actually right in this little Pyrex that I have right here. So I have the milk. I'm gonna add in the eggs. And then my cinnamon and my salt. And then my vanilla. And I'm just gonna mix it up a little bit just to kind of incorporate everything as much as I can. Okay, so the next step is I'm gonna put this in the microwave for 2 to 3 minutes. I want it to get hot, but I don't want it to be boiling. We wanna kind of get it all heated up and pretty hot, but not make scrambled eggs out of it. Okay, so I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, so I wound up heating up my egg and milk mixture for about 2.5 minutes. I did get a little clumping of the eggs, but it's no big deal. As long as you don't wind up with a big cup full of kind of scrambled eggs, it's okay. So then I'm just gonna pour it into my bowl that I put the buttered bread, the cranberries, and the brown sugar into. And I'm just gonna mix that around a little bit, very gently. and make sure that all the bread is coated with the mixture. All right, so now the next trick is the instructions say to cook it for 5 to 8 minutes on half power on the microwave. So every microwave is a little bit different, and I had to take a minute to kind of figure mine out. Okay, but this is what I figured out. So I'm just gonna set the time. I'm gonna actually do 7 minutes, and then I'm gonna hit power level and press it until it goes down to 50%. Okay, so it took me, like I said, a couple of minutes to kind of figure it out at first, and your microwave may be a little bit different. Okay, so then I'm gonna just put the bowl in there and press start. Okay, so while that's cooking, I just want to take a minute to talk about the recipe itself. So this recipe actually comes from the SNAPEd.org website. We have a recipe finder, and you can go in and kind of type in keywords or ingredients, type in the type of recipe that you're looking for, and there are a lot of recipes in there, many of which I've made and I really enjoy. And of course, being a SNAP Ed recipe, we're aiming for healthy and affordable and not a lot of kind of fancy kitchen tools or things needed to make it. So just to go kind of to the healthy part, I'm going to talk a little bit about My Plate. So this comes from myplate.gov, and if you look at the recipe in terms of My Plate and the food groups, okay, we're getting a little bit of a lot of different things. So we got dairy from the milk, we got whole grains from the bread, okay, we got some fruit with the cran raisins, or if you use regular raisins like it calls for, and protein from the eggs. So we're covering a lot of bases here just with this dessert recipe, and still getting a lot of different food groups that way. So it's pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna let that finish cooking, and I will be right back to show you what it looks like. Okay, so the bread pudding finished cooking in the microwave. I did wind up adding another minute to it just to get it to set a little bit more. So what the recipe recommends is that you cook it until the edges are slightly brown. You want to look and see that they're kind of pulling away from the dish. The middle can still be kind of a little bit jiggly, and that's fine because you're going to let it sit for about 10 minutes before you serve it. Okay, and then this is what it looks like. Okay, so you can see it's all cooked up. It's a little bit soft in the center. Okay, and I'm gonna just serve up a little bite. It's probably still pretty hot. We'll see how it tastes. Yeah, so just like you would expect bread pudding to taste. I did sprinkle a little more cinnamon on the top because who doesn't like cinnamon? All right, so I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you give it a try. And like I said, if you are interested in finding more recipes, you can go and visit SNAPEd.org and use our recipe finder. Thanks, and have a great day.